What's going on? What's going on, people? Let me cut a couple of these things off. Actually, let me get you all into the intro. We worked too hard on the intro. See you shortly.
I like digging holes and hiding things inside them. When I grow old, I hope I won't forget to find them. Cause I've got memories and travel like gypsies in the night. I build a home and wait for someone to tear it down. Then pack it up in boxes, head for the next town round. Cause I've got memories and travel like gypsies in the night. And 1,000 times I've seen this road, 1,000 times. I've got no roots, but my home was never on the.
I'm vibing to the intro, people. I love it. I love it. Well, listen, welcome. It's Monday. I'm tired. I'm tired. It's been a very productive day. I'm ready to go to bed. But before I do it, I'd be remiss if I didn't have this show. We're motivating to activating. We're having civil discourse. We're making things happen. And and today's an excellent day. I'm not going to be on here too long. Sometimes I think I always say it, but then I'm dead serious. I'm tired. I woke up extra early this morning. But it was interesting today because, as we all know, Facebook and Instagram was down, and I didn't notice this until maybe about 3 o'clock. I got a call from my assistant. She said she couldn't post some things on Facebook. She was sending me the screenshots of the error message, etc. And like I didn't notice. I was so busy. But I can imagine that today probably was the most productive day for most people. And that's only if you weren't going crazy, hurrying up and refreshing to make sure that it happened. And I guess it was down. I don't know what, maybe 5-6 hours or something. I don't know. But sometimes that was God. That was God telling us that we needed to take a little step back. Like you don't really understand how much social media has. A lot of people don't, anyways, understand how much social media has actually. I want to say interrupted, but I won't even say interrupt, but changed. It's changed the way that we interact. This internet is a serious thing. The way that we consume content, the way that we treat people. And so it was interesting because even before it was shut down, because I came up with this list of things that I want to talk about today, like this morning. I think the notes was like 7:20 a.m. I kind of finished my notes. And so I said I wanted to talk about a couple of things because as of right now, we're still in this phase, and a phase of becoming this growth. We're having this growth, right? For lack of a better word, we're having this growth. And so I entitled this live broadcast, New Month, New You. Why? Because most people want to wait until January to make a change. Most people feel wait until January and then it's the new year, new you. No, this is the fourth quarter. We're entering this new month. We're in October. This is my first broadcast in October, the first Monday broadcast in October. And so now is the time when you want to be making changes. I mean, now is it this fourth quarter is what sets you up for the actual year. That way you can hit the year running. So if you're thinking about getting in shape, do it now. If you're thinking about your business, start marketing now. Like people are ready to spend money come January. So you should be having something to offer them in order for them to spend money on whatever that may be. So I'm in the real estate space, and so I need to start my marketing now because people are really thinking about moving and changing their lifestyles in January. I'm still going to do deals from now until January. Matter of fact, these are probably going to be the best 3 months. I'm claiming it, the best 3 months of real estate that I've had of this year. but then it's just going to roll right into January. And most people in real estate and probably around in all the other different industries as well kind of start to take the time off, right? Like now we're starting to get into this lull phase. Once you hit what is it? Not Thanksgiving, Halloween, it's a wrap. People are in vacation mode. And so now is the time to start grinding and start doing what it is you need to do to get into the best shape for you to be in. So that's why I decided to name this new month New You instead of New Year, New You. Start now, start in this fourth quarter so that you have the best first quarter. And 2022 will be the best year of your life. Right? Perfect. But I wanted to get into, so with this thing, and you're going to see what came up on the screen, I want to talk about the inundation of information. Like right now, we are on information overload. Information overload. And so I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I do personally. I do this personally. Like we're all working this together. We're all growing together to help me stay more focused, to stay on task, to be more productive, to be more effective, and just be a better person overall. How about that? How about Mike just is a better person overall? And so every morning, and I've been doing this probably for, I don't know, since maybe for the last 2 months, I listened to I think it's called The Greatest Secret. It's by Earl Nightingale. And I'm actually going to have this stripped and put onto my YouTube channel. So if you're not following me on YouTube, I want you to subscribe. There's going to be a lot of changes coming up for me personally, and how I'm going to be more active on YouTube and doing more live. So please follow my YouTube because you're going to be getting most of your information from there. Let me see, Ava. Ava, what's going on? When I get time, I want to go back and watch this. You're smiling, your spirit inspiring. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. So the inundation of information. So when you listen to the Earl Nightingale's The Greatest Secrets, there's 3 things that he speaks about. The last thing that he talked, or I think it was the second thing. The second thing that he speaks about, and I would advise anybody to listen to this first thing in the morning for 30 days. It's 20 minutes. I put it on 2 times the speed because I know exactly what he's saying, and I kind of train my mind to do it. And actually, you can get through a lot more things when you put, if you have an Audible or if you're on YouTube, if you put it on 1.5 or 2 times the speed. And if they're great speakers, like if you're listening to someone like TD Jakes, there's a couple of speakers that I listen to, they tend to speak very slow because they should. And definitely when you're in person for the effect of it. However, it's even better for me because then I put it on 1.5 and it's like most people's normal speed. Like I even need to learn to slow it down like that. So he talks about the gold mine, Earl Nightingale does, and it's basically your brain. You know, one person said, your brain. Your brain is a gold mine. And we just need to be mining our gold mine, stay focused, stay within your industry and mine your gold mine. If you listen to it, like I said, it takes about 19 minutes to listen to. I listen to it every morning. I put it on 2 times speed. It's part of the third thing that I do after my quote, after my Bible reading. Then I go immediately into this 20-minute or into this video that I play on YouTube. And so he talks about mining the gold mine. Well, part of mining is to get rid of the things that you don't need. We have to start getting all these things that are in our mind. We have to start getting rid of a lot of this stuff, but we're getting so much information. So this is what this broadcast is going to be about. Some of the things that I do to get a lot of these things out of my mind. And I really want you all to start doing this now. Like immediately. Like you can do this. You can stop listening to me, come back if you see something that perks your interest, and do these things exactly. Okay? Now, number one, start, and I guess I should write them in there, right? No, I'm not gonna do it. Listen, just listen to me. Start unsubscribing from everything. We're getting these emails, and most of us have subscribed to these emails, but a lot of these things no longer apply to what we have going on. if things no longer apply to your life, or they're just adding things. So sometimes, I mean, there were times when I would get emails and I'd be like, it was like this FOMO, fear of missing out on whatever was going on, and it doesn't add. It gets me going off in this other direction. I'm like like you're just chasing things, ADD or whatever the case may be. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of this because it's just so much information and so much time. We're trying to consume it all. Listen, start unsubscribing from these different emails. Are you really using Groupon? That's like a big one for me. Unsubscribe from Groupon. You know who else is annoying? Old Navy. And sometimes I'm almost scared to unsubscribe from Old Navy because they have some great deals from time to time. But you send me too much things. Best Buy. Stop sending me stuff. I'm going to take control of it. Unsubscribe. Just unsubscribe from it. Most of these things you probably don't need to buy anyways. Home Depot. Oh my, stop sending me stuff. We want this mailbox to be as junk free as possible. You need to protect your mailbox for only pertinent information. Only pertinent information. Start unsubscribing from these things that you subscribed for 10, 15 years ago that you never did, that you never will do. Now, if there's something in there that you didn't, just do it. But if you're not going to do it within the next 6 months, unsubscribe from it. If you're not going to do it in the next 30 days, let's make it even more simple. If you're not going to do whatever is coming in, or you're not planning on buying a bunch of stuff, you have enough clothes, whatever, just unsubscribe. Start unjust your mind. That's number one. Number two, you got to stop following people. Put them on. You don't have to unfriend them. Just unfollow them. I think on Facebook you can unfollow. On Instagram you can mute them. Start doing it. And I'm going to tell you how you pick these people out, because I don't know who I'm with. I'm going to tell you how you pick these people out. Hopefully it's not me. But if you have to think twice about liking their post, if you have to think twice about liking someone's post, and there's a bunch of reasons why you may not want to like a person's post, right? So one of the reasons, you don't want other people to see you like this post because it may not necessarily be within your brand or something. People are watching on social media. You don't want someone to be perusing and say, wow, I can't believe Mike liked this post. But if you like it, then you like it. But if you have to think twice about it, this is probably someone that you probably need to unfollow. That's one. Like, if you have to think twice about liking a post, that's how you get rid of it. It's just that simple. Like, why are you following people that you don't like their stuff anyways, besides being nosy? If you don't like the person, and normally Facebook, or when people go on social media, they normally put like their best foot forward. So you're seeing like the best of these people when they could be miserable, right? But you're going to see the best of them. And if you don't like them, then that probably bothers you that they're doing well. That sucks, but it is what it is. Let's be honest about these things. But if you have to think twice about liking somebody's post, why are you following them? Why are you following them? Truth be told, humans aren't supposed to be interacting at this such a large level like what we have now. It seems cool, and I remember the first time I saw the internet. But either way, let me stay on task. It seems cool, but we're just taking in too much stuff, and then we're taking on a lot of people's energies that we don't need to take on. If someone's always posting negative things, time for you to get rid of them. Real quick, I had a neighbor. He lived over there. Let me see. Someone's commenting. Ty said, and people who always need. I have a neighbor. He used to live across the street from me. And so I saw him the other day. I hadn't seen him in a while. And every time I see him, he had essentially he just wants me to give him some money for something, right? But he came and he always has this sob story. And so he was talking about him having done some work for somebody, and that the person didn't pay them. They owed him like $1,500 or something like that. And I was like, well, shoot, at least you know. And he's like, yeah, but I said, I had to ask him. I said, tell you what, man, and yeah, you. Sometimes I'm in rare form. I said, listen, it seems to me, that you are always having some type of bad luck. I said, you always have some type of bad luck, or you always need something. God is my witness. My brother was there. I said, so what I need you to do is to stay away from me, because that stuff starts to rub off. And I don't want anybody else's bad mojo or bad vibes. Why you think misery love company? Have you ever got on the phone with someone and then they started having these negative conversations, right? I'm guilty for this, like listening to them and coming up with these different suggestions on what it is they can do, but they don't want these suggestions. They just want someone to listen to, which is fine. But this is me taking on their energy. Then they, I'm tired. I'm telling you, I'm dead serious. I'm taking on someone else's energy, and I said, you got to stay. So you're taking on their energy. They leave off of the phone like, oh, I got all this. Like I feel free. They vented, right? They're gonna have an issue shortly thereafter because they don't, because venting doesn't really help you let go. But now you have taken on, you when you got on the phone, you was fine. Listen, one of the things that my cousin Chris and I have, and what we do is, if we're going through something, we say, listen, as soon as we get on the phone, we say, hey, I got you got 3 to 5 minutes. We'll say, hey, you got 3 minutes. Let me just talk about whatever it was that you got to talk about. And you do it for 3 minutes. And then you, if you need to do it, but most of us need to process a lot of this stuff, experience it, and then let it go. The problem is most people don't want to experience this stuff. I'm going too deep. If I'm going too deep, y'all let me know. But most people don't want to experience these things. They just want to push it off on somebody else, or they want someone else to help them carry a certain weight, as opposed to experiencing these things. Like we're spiritual beings having a human experience. You need to have that. You should have that experience. Just feel it. You are not your feelings, but you experience it. Okay. Anyways, I don't want to get too far off the subject. Stay away from me. Negative vibes. A lot of this stuff is getting broadcast through the internet. So if you see people on the internet, they always have these issues, and if they're not making you feel good about it, then you can't like it, unfollow, mute. They won't even know. They won't even know. Just mute them. What Ty said. Yep, I've been stopped getting in God's work. Yep, you got to go through. You got to go through it. For men especially, men, this is what makes you men. Remember Leonidas from 300? When they sent him out there to the wolves? You got to go figure it out. Come back. You're going to be better for it. Experience it though. Learn to be by yourself. I think those were the three things that I think two things that I wanted to talk about was and essentially it just goes back to what we've been talking about. You have to get away from a lot of these. Let me post what Ty put up there. Yep, I've been stopped getting in God's work. Yeah, let God work on those people especially. You got to go through it. You got to go through it. You got to let them do it. Stop nurturing them. Stop nurturing them. So get rid of these people on social media. Start unsubscribing immediately from emails. And then the last thing, because I've been talking about this for the last 3 months, and I'll probably talk for the next couple of months. You have to figure out you got to get around some good people. See what Chris say. Awareness is where it all starts. Amen. Yeah. How do you become aware though? That's what people. The awareness is the part of the what we were talking about earlier with Ty was the experience of it. So get around the right people, man. Start setting boundaries with people who don't make you feel good, because most of these people are gonna be family members, man. That's what I was gonna tell you too. I was listening to a person, and when you let someone know that you're going on a certain path, when you let people know that you're going on a certain path, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is something negative, boom. Don't let it happen again. Don't let it happen again until you finish doing what it is that you have to do. And I'm not talking about what's going on. Big brother dropping gems. You know, pick them up. Pick them up. Shouts out to the little brother Mark. When someone says the first, because most people cannot even fathom this growth, these things that we have going on. Most people can't even feel it and touch it. Well, they can't, because they can't touch it, it's not real. Let me say that. So the best thing to do is to start separating yourself from these people. And it's not an easy thing. Let me tell you something about, I always used to say this about people in our community, especially when we start doing this growth thing. I always said it takes us 3 to 5 years longer than it probably takes the average person or a different culture. And that's because we have this it's not a victim mentality. We have what is called survivor's remorse. We have this thing where we feel like we need to bring everybody with us. Everybody can't go. Once you get, and that's probably one of the hardest lessons for people to learn. When I left the center, shouts out to Ty working at the center. When I was leaving, that was one of the hardest things for me to do. Was like, man, if I leave, what am I going to leave these kids with? These young men with? Like what's going to be there? Everybody can't go. And then when you're starting your own, when you start getting your own foot, and you really have to put in the time to learn your craft, to refine it. You just don't have the time. You don't have the bandwidth. You know? So you got to listen to something like what Jay-Z says. So I got rich and gave back. That's the win-win. We really have to start. It's tough, man. But everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. Stop feeling guilty. Stop being ashamed. Stop dimming your light. Everybody that's on this live, everyone that commented, some very, very smart individuals, very intelligent, and people. And I think, me and Ty played chess a couple times. Very smart and intelligent individuals, and when people see that, and they may not necessarily expect it, it's shocking. And you can be asked to dim your light because of that. Don't do it. That ends up being a lot of frustration. You don't dim your light for nobody. But overall, just go back through. Like I said, I'm not going to take up too much of our time. 25 minutes. I love you guys. Thank you for checking in. Listen, unsubscribe, unfollow, mute, and start getting around people that are your tribe. People that will help you to push you to go forward. People that will contribute to your growth. Make sense? All right, cool. Listen, I was going to do a real estate thing. I have to. Let me do this real estate thing. Let me I wanted to pull it up too, but I can't. I don't know how to do it on this thing, so I'm going to pull it up. So real quick, let me see if I can find it. Carmela. What's her name? Kamala? Kamala. It's Kamala, right? Kamala Harris just sold one of her properties in in DC. She sold one of her properties in DC for like 1.9 million. Oh, excuse me, it was on the market for 1.9 million, and she sold it for 1.8. I'm just memorizing though, because I can't find it. And so sometimes you have to create your tribe. Your tribe is already out there. You just got to bring them. Let me put that up here. Kenyatta, your tribe is already out there. You just have to attract them. And you're not going to attract them by dimming your light. That's essentially what I wanted to get at. I think I missed what Chris said. Introspection and consciousness will lead you to awareness. 1,000%. 1,000%, Chris. I think that's the whole about experiencing your feelings, because when you introspect, you're actually experiencing that stuff, and a lot of people don't want to do it. There's a lot of blocks for it. So you can't. I don't know why I'm looking for my emails. Let me see if I can pull it up here. So a lot of people. So anyway, long story short, Kamala Harris just sold 1.9 million. Her and her husband sold their property for 1.9 million. It was on the market for 1.9 million. She sold it for 1.8 million. She also sold some property that she bought for, I think it was like 300,000 in San Francisco. She just sold it, or not San Francisco, in the Bay Area, and then they recently unloaded it for 800,000. And a couple weeks ago, I put up a post. And I was telling people that everyone that I knew that was financially savvy, that I deemed financially savvy, like 99% of the people I deem financially savvy, people that I look up to in regards to what it is that they're doing, have all traded real estate or refinanced some kind of real estate in the last 18 months. So I said that to say this, that there's a lot of people who are waiting on the sidelines for something to happen. They're waiting on the sidelines for something to happen as opposed to making things happen. Right? And pay attention. Pay attention to the people who are just, I'm just waiting for something to crash. I'm just waiting for something. Meanwhile, deals are happening all day, every day in the marketplace, if you're actively looking for it. And then what's going to actually happen, if you're not a player in the game, when let's say something does happen, I don't think there's going to be a crash. But let's just say there's a crash or something happens. Most of the people who weren't in the game won't even understand the rules when it's time to play. So if you're not even practicing, like one thing that Grant Cardone said, before he bought his first building, he was looking at hundreds of houses before he bought his first property. He was just looking at hundreds of houses. He was doing looking at hundreds of houses. So when it was time for him to make a move, he was fully aware of what was going on. Most people are just sitting on the sideline. They're not practicing. They're not even warming up. So if you're not warming up and you're not practicing, when it's time to play, you're not going to understand. You're not going to be able to just jump in there. You're not Allen Iverson. Practice. Yes, practice. So that's what I want to say. That was my real estate moment. You all could get in the game, start warming up, start getting educated about what it is that you need to do. Some of you all just need your own property, period. Look what's going on with these rents, man. These rents are incredible. Too bad. They're incredible. They're incredible. So, a lot of you all are being forced to move. That's what I've been seeing. A lot of people being forced to move. They were paying $1,800 a month for a 3-bedroom. Landlord is putting it up to $2,500, and he's getting it. People are getting the $2,500 a month for that same 3-bedroom that you were paying $1,800 for. Why would he not take an extra $700 a month? That would be fiscally irresponsible. We don't become landlords to lose money. It's not a charity. All right, cool. That sounded real harsh, but it's true. It's true. I love you guys. Thank you all for checking in. Friday, of course, 6:30, Community Beacon with Joel and I. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, Michael Seville Real Estate, there's some dope videos on there as well that I explain some stuff. I'm going to be a lot more active on the YouTube channel, so please subscribe to the YouTube channel. For this stream here on Facebook, if you're catching me on Facebook, please share, like, and share with people. And other than that, man, if you have any questions, you all know how to reach me. DM me, text me if you have my number, or schedule an appointment, or send somebody or send somebody to schedule an appointment. We can get it done. Appreciate you guys. Check you all out later. Peace.